Hi everyone, welcome to Snap Vegan, where eating on the cheap doesn't have to kill you. And I'm still having a fabulous hair day. Today I went to my doctor and I got some information overload. I was going to do two separate videos, but well, maybe I'll do part one, part two. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. So today I went to my internal medicine doctor. The intention was to have an annual physical that I was supposed to have in January, but because of the shoulder and the weather and the drugs, I'm like, no. So anyway, but again, a failure to communicate. It got scheduled as a 20-minute Medicare wellness check. And my annual physical was a 40-minute appointment. And that's what it was supposed to be. And that's what I thought it was going to be. And that's why I asked for the blood work, so we could, get all that done. And then talk about it when I got there. And anyway, as usual, my doctor came through. And she spent the time with me that she knew I intended to have, because she knew there was a screw up in the schedule, because on my chart, because of multiple conditions that I have, which, I have, some people have autoimmune problems. Well, mine are like stacked and stacked and stacked. Well, like one feeds another, But anyway, we went through the Medicare questionnaire. We went through what was going on. And when I stepped on the scale, I actually had a heart attack. Okay, so I started all of this over 300 pounds. I don't know how much over 300, because my scale only goes to 300. But I was over 300 pounds because it wouldn't register. So, and then, when was it? August? September? I forget. I was down to 260. Yay! And, I was trying to break into that 250, and no, it didn't happen. So 260, and you look at my doctor visits. Their scales are usually up or down 4 or 5. Some of them to 5 pounds. But then I went to the doctor in the winter time. Excuse me, with extra gear on. Anyway, 280 pounds is what I weighed in today on the nose. I saw that and I went, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you for the batteries for my home scale. Haven't put them in yet. Knew I was going to the doctor, but now I will. Please excuse me. I'm doing this at night. It's been a long day. So, we talked about the heart attack versus AFib thing. That was the first thing out of her mouth. And she said that is what the machine said happened. Because it's printed right on the report if you go to look back. She says, but to the machine that would probably look to be what happened. So I explained to her what happened. And she said, Cathy, that was your AFib. Yeah. Asked me to describe it. How long did it last? I told her, I said, I've had the AFib thing before. But that instance and the one that followed, she goes, you had more than one? I'm like, yeah. 2 days later. So, she asked me how long it lasted. And I'm like, man, it felt like forever, but I guess I said it was very intense for at least an entire minute. And that was the longest minute on the planet. And all I could think about was breathe, breathe. Oh, excuse me, like, don't freak out. And she was kind of smiling. Me and her, we banter back and forth, so she gets me, And I says, just trying to, diaphragm breathe nice and slow. She goes, you did the right thing. Just, try to stay calm. And she says, you should have gotten somebody to bring you in. I said, I don't have anybody, much less at 2:30 in the morning. And I just, if I saw it through till it was over. I said if I'd have called an ambulance and by the time they got here, it was over, my insurance wouldn't have paid for it because it wouldn't have been an emergency at that point. And that's just the facts about insurance. So, then I told her about this. I told her it was like the whole time it was going on, it was intense. I mean, it's like scary intense. And, I told her, breathe through it. And I said, I didn't dare try to sit up because the room was just spinning. And she says, that was your AFib, Cathy. And so she asked me to describe the second time. And I said it kind of was a build-up. It was a build-up to intense, and then it stopped. And it didn't come back. And she says, okay. So we went through my blood work, and I have it here. So I'll go through it with you too. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. And she's a plant-based eater. And so is my cardiologist, which is cool, because I think I even kind of, even more so inspired this doctor anyway, to, get on board. Let me try, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so you can pause the screen if you want to. Okay, my cholesterol desirable level is 200 or below. I'm at 200. But to my doctors, they know 200 is way too far for me. Way too far. And that's personal goal set. Personal set goal. So now anything over 200 is going to be like, alarm bells kind of thing, high. The cholesterol, you'll see cholesterol was 200, and the range to high range is over 200. So I'm right there. I am right there. My triglycerides is 157. Normal level is a high, it says, wait a minute, I can't read it. Triglyceride is 157, high, and the normal range is 10 to 149, and I'm at 157, so 8 points over. My HDL is 58. Normal range is 51 to 85. So I'm good with my HDL. I'm still a little low on my HDL, but I'm still in normal range. I'm not. Okay, so my LDL, my lousy cholesterol, is 111. Where's it at? 111. And the normal range is 0 to 100. So I'm 11 points over there. So 8 points up, 11 points up. My non-HDL, which I don't know what that is 142. And high range, or high, it says H. High range is under 130. So I'm 143. So I guess I'm good. I don't know. If high, I am high, and the normal range is less than 130. So I'm a 13, 12 points above where I should be there. CHD risk equivalent, including diabetes, the LDL goal would be under 100, and I'm at 111. Non-HDL goal would be under 130, and I'm 142. Multiple risk factors. LDL would be 130, under 130. Okay, so I'm at 111, so I'm good. The non-HDL level should be 160 or less, and I'm at 142, so I'm good there. 0 to 1 risk factors for LDL goal under 160. I'm under 160, so I'm good. Non-HDL goal under 190. I'm good. I'm good there. So I'm good, but I'm not as good as I was. So there's that. So, what she ordered for me that I was supposed to have Friday along with that didn't get put in the system is vitamin D, vitamin B12, urinalysis with microbe, and a culture if the white blood count's more than 5. CBC with a diff, a liver panel, and for the first time ever, I asked for an A1C. So she said, yes. So she said, H1C takes a look at 3 months glucose history. I said, well, do I have to come back in 3 months again? She said, no. What that is your red blood cells regenerate every 3 months. And an A1C will be a snapshot of the last 3 months. I'm like, I think I'm explaining it right. So, no, I don't have to come back in 3 months because this one thing will tell me what's been going on for the last 3 months. So, I got to do that. And if you're born between this year and that year, now they're recommending you have a hepatitis C virus AB screen. So, I have known 2 people with hepatitis C and dated one of them. Been screened way before for that, and I was good. So, nothing, as far as I know, I'm okay. But now the guidelines are if you're born between this year and that year or whatever, and I fall in that category. And now I have to have a mammogram and a DEXA-skeletal. So I have to have bone marrow or bone density test, my first. And they'll do that at the same time as the mammogram. And that's coming up. They have to wait till this heart monitor's off, though. Of course, they can't do the squishy thing with the heart monitor on. So that's got to wait. That's going to be April 17th because my heart monitor comes off on April 14th. And then July the 21st. Okay. I got to tell you this story. We talked about when I told her about the cholesterol, I said that's not acceptable. She goes, 200 is, you're still normal. I said 201.001 means I'm not. So we can't go there. And she says, okay. She says, I am assuming that you want to tackle this naturally and no statins. I said, you assume correctly. Because I told my cardiologist, no. But I hadn't talked to Dr. Stinson about it yet. And she says, I know you can do it because you've done it. She says, when you right before you, the visit before you came to me and told me you went plant-based, she says, your numbers weren't so good. She said, the next time you came to me, you had already lost 20 pounds. Your numbers fell in normal range. So I know you can do this. So that's why I don't have a problem. I said, do you think I should do statins for 3 months until the plants kick in? She says, no. Because if you do it right, if you commit yourself, you can lower all of these numbers in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. She goes, the trick is, maintaining it. So, what she did was, I'd go back in July and repeat all of these blood tests again. It's like the Cathy challenge. Plant-based challenge. Because she said she knows I can do it. I'm like, plant-based patient making changes. And so July the 21st, I go back and I repeat all these tests again, blood tests, to see if I'm in normal range or not. So, July 21st, drum roll please. So that's, she gets me. She totally gets me. She asked me, because on that questionnaire it says, have you been eating high fat? And I'm like, yeah, I cheated. I told her, and when we talk about, when I wanted to talk to you about self-sabotage, is that I did this to myself. Nobody did it to me. I did it to myself. And I'm trying to think back on when that started, and I think it was when I got the flu. Excuse me. That was, well, I had my surgery. September 23rd, and me and her were trying to clock back because she looked back on the charts from when I went to go see him after surgery, and that's when my weight started going up after surgery. And but then I guess one of my visits in November was back down. It was up and then back down. I told you I've been losing the same 10 pounds, right? Well, now I found out it's like 20. Dang. So, but yeah, she looked back, and yet, sure enough, after surgery is when things started clocking up. Right before Thanksgiving, they were back down. And then I got sick with the flu. And then my visits with the orthopedic guy clocked them higher again. So, I'm like, okay, all right, we've got that tracking thing going on. So when I got sick, it started with a head cold, sore throat, so here comes the ice cream. I'm sick, I don't feel good. Here comes a peanut butter cup. Here comes everything I'm not supposed to have because I feel like crap, and my fever is 101 point, I think the highest it got was 101.6 or 8, something like that. And she says, next time you call and I'll give you Tamiflu. I said, no, people died with Tamiflu this time. I'm like, I got to rough it out. I just, push fluids, ate kale. And that's what got me over that flu, man. I was pushing the greens. And it still took me 3.5 weeks. But, so she asked me, she goes, now what are you doing? And I said, well, since I heard the number 200, I says, I threw all the oil out of my house. I said, I even have a video on YouTube about it. Getting all the oil out of the house. And she said, whenever things happen like this, you're only like one step away from making it right, getting back on track. I said, I got a friend, Nancy Matthews, that said the same thing just night before last, that you're only one meal away from getting back on track. She goes, and that's true. She says, and I know you can do it because you've done it, and you proved me, the biggest skeptic in the world, like, you proved to me you could do it. I'm like, okay, all right. So, asked me about high fat, and talked to her about avocados versus nuts, because I had that brief conversation. She says, you can't have both in the same day. She says, if you're going to have avocado, she said, I wouldn't have more than one a week. And see, the other one said two, but, you know, she said, don't more than one a week. And she goes, you know, put half of one, spread it over like 4 tacos or something, but, or, you know, one salad, or one, what she call it, Buddha bowl. She said, but, you know, the next day, you know, have walnuts, but only like an ounce. And so, not 2, 1. And she goes, because I think she said they were omega-6. I forget which omega, but there's an omega that avocado doesn't have. She says, but don't do both at the same time. That spikes your... She goes, it's healthy fat, but it'll still spike. So, you know, alternate. Avocado, nut, nothing, nut, avocado, whatever. But anyway, so to do that. And but she said, you know, it's a healthy fat, and you need it for your brain. So I said, somebody had mentioned that we needed oil for brain. She goes, no, you don't need oil for brain. She says you need healthy fat, not animal fat of any kind, but you know, healthy fat, plant-based fat, like you're doing, avocados and nuts, and there was something else. I said, oh, I asked her, what about tempeh? She goes, tempeh's okay. You know, don't like binge on it, but tempeh is okay. She preferred tempeh to tofu because at least tempeh has the bean in it. But she was we were talking about the how the orthopedics hijacked me. She asked me how come I didn't come in January, and I said, well, you know, Fort Wayne Orthopedics kind of hijacked me. And we talked about the results over there. We talked about Parsonage-Turner syndrome. And then she asked me after that, she goes, I don't know much about Parsonage-Turner syndrome, but I suspect by the next time I go back, she'll be an expert on it. We'll have a conversation. And I will remind her in my message to her to learn a little bit more about it so we can have that conversation, because I asked her, how do we rule it out? And but she said she didn't know much about it. And then she turns around and asks me, or I told her that I was told it was autoimmune, having to do with my HLA B27 markers being positive. And, you know, it's an autoimmune thing, but it's degenerative and you can't turn it around. It has to do with my arm and nerve endings and stuff like that. So she said, while we're on similar topics, she said, if someone has to give you CPR, do you want them to give you CPR? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. You know, because there was I didn't have like a DNR or anything on my record. She goes, there's nothing in your record about that. I said, yeah, you put in there, you put the DSR in there. She said, DSR. I said, yeah, damn straight, resuscitate. Yeah. So she kind of giggled, you know, and she giggled herself into a little coffee spell. She was like, you know, but, so yeah, we're resuscitating. And, but, I said, you think I've come this far to try to correct my health for me to just give up like that? No, you fight. You fight for this one. I got things to do, people to see, places to go. I got money to make. I got to get off this disability and start making some money. Because when I met her, I was working for someone she went to college with, a dermatologist. So she knows where I was working, and she knows, you know, she knows the line of work I was doing. So, because she's, you know, I got referred from him, and we all talked about that, and this and that and the other. And anyway, so, it was a good visit. There's a lot of different topics we talked about. I wanted to kind of bullet point with you, but I just kind of wanted to give you the short version, and we're right at 25 minutes right now. But according to her, with just, you know, according to the test scores and everything else, you know, my 200 cholesterol is no big deal to them, but it's the big 201 is when they, you know. Oh. She said, I'm assuming you want to, I already said that. She wanted me to do, she assumed that I wanted to do this naturally, and then she reinforced that she knew I could do it because I did it before. And, the Fort Wayne orthopedic thing. I told her, I says, she goes, what did all that say? And I told her about the Parsonage Turner thing, and I had my x-ray on my phone, so I showed it to her. She goes, wow, you know, I said, it's impinged. She says, yeah. And I said, I had x-rays with neck and spine and hip and feet and, you know, all of that. And they wanted to give me a shot in my back, and I'm like, no, we're not going to mess with my spine. So I said, what I've been doing is I've been doing turmeric. And she goes, with pepper? I'm like, yeah, with black pepper. And she goes, chili pepper's good too. And she goes, oh, reflux. I said, I hadn't had reflux in over a year. She goes, if you can handle it, turmeric with chili pepper flakes, or black pepper. She goes, that reduces inflammation really well. I'm like, I love having a plant-based eater for a doctor. And so, anyway, that's kind of the short of it. And I'm not uploading any kind of fancy intro or anything like that. I'm just going to, well, maybe I will, because I'll do this on a day delay. But, anyway, that was my doctor visit. So the next thing I have to do is go get my blood work done, and I can just go right down the road here, close to me, to the lab here at where I go get PT. They've got a lab right across the hall, so I can just go in there and get the lab work done, and that part will be done. And the lab that didn't get done, you know what I mean? And then just wait it out. I don't go back to see her until July. And then while I was in the waiting room for my seeing Dr. Stinson, the cardiologist's office called to schedule me for that nuclear stress test, treadmill test, and to schedule the echo on my carotid arteries. They're going to do it at the same time, or same visit. And I said, I'm about to go in, can you call me back? So they're going to call me back tomorrow, and we'll get that scheduled. So those are all the tests I have to have. Blood work, tests, do what I do, and then go back in July and see how everything worked out. But right now, according to the doctor, I weigh 280 pounds. I gained 20 pounds from September to now over that period of surgery and flu. So, I hate the word journey, because this is more like a pothole, or what do you call it? What do you call it when the earth falls out from under you? Like swallows a whole house? Sinkhole. I feel like I went in a sinkhole. She asked me if I've been depressed. I said, well, you know, just been sick and hurting all over. Oh, and she did say I could take the meloxicam with my baby aspirin, because I wasn't supposed to be mixing, you know, the NSAID with ibuprofen or anything like that. But she did say it was okay to take a baby aspirin with the meloxicam for my shoulder. And so I'll be doing that now. For sure. And then she said ice, get an ice pack. I told her about my cool little invention. It won't stay on my arm, but it's good enough. It's good enough for right now. So that's it. I promise. That's all I'm going to talk about right now, because we're knocking at 30 minutes. So I love you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for giving a damn. You know, I don't have anybody else to talk to. Honest to goodness. So I appreciate all of you and all the blessings you sent my way, and your prayers. I thank you so much. And, you know, back on the road to better health, here we go. The batteries are going in the scales in the morning, and I've got to take my blood pressure 3 times a day. She also said to get a pedometer that monitors heart rates. She made a suggestion of one. It's on my Amazon wish list. I don't know when I'll be able to get that, but, you know, it's kind of something she thought I would need to have. You know, I don't know so much about counting steps. I don't know if it's for her or for me. Yeah, I think it's more for her. She wants me to have it. But I'm like, you know, she wants to see how many steps I've been taking, and I guess that thing records your heart rate every so often, and there's an app for that, and she can tap into it. I don't know. But that's just not in the budget either. So unless insurance pays for it, you just can't have it right now, or probably ever. So have a good day, everybody. That's the update. You know, it's really the yin and the yang between my internal medicine and my cardiologist, nurse practitioner, Robin, because when I was telling her what Robin was planning, you know, I told her I asked for the ultrasound here, and she's like, yes. And she says, and you need that nuclear. I said, on the schedule, nuclear treadmill. She said, yes. And she asked me about when the heart monitor's coming off, and trying to coordinate all these appointments and stuff to where, you know, heart monitor stays on, does its thing, and everything kind of like falls in line. It's just a well-oiled timeline of everything to be done, the follow-up, everything. I feel good after today's visit. I have got outstanding quality of care. I do. You know, why don't those lazy food stamp welfare whores, you know, get a job? Well, this is why. I'm not a whore. If I was a whore, damn, I have money. You know what I'm saying? I'd have good money, too. Okay, y'all. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Thank you for everything. I love you to the moon and back. All of you. If my son is watching, I love you, too. And have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.